This is Audible.
Recorded Books presents Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. Narrated by Rebecca Soler with Teddy Hamilton. To my fellow zebras, not all strength is physical. Iron Flame is a non-stop, thrilling adventure fantasy set in the brutal and competitive world of a military college for dragon riders, which includes elements regarding war, psychological and physical torture, imprisonment, intense violence, brutal injuries, perilous situations, blood, dismemberment, burning, murder, death, animal death, graphic language, loss of family, grief, and sexual activities that are shown on the page. Readers who may be sensitive to these elements, please take note and prepare to join the revolution. The following text has been faithfully transcribed from Navarian into the modern language by Jesinia Neal-Wart, curator of the Scribe Quadrant at Basgiath War College. All events are true, and names have been preserved to honor the courage of those fallen. May their souls be commended to Malak. Part 1. An excerpt from Public Notice 628.85, transcribed by Sorella Neal-Wart. In this, the 628th year of our unification, it is hereby recorded that Eurasia has been burned by dragon in accordance with the treaty ending the separatist movement. Those who fled, survived, and those who did not remain entombed in her ruins. Chapter 1. Revolution tastes oddly sweet. I stare at my older brother across a scarred wooden table in the enormous busy kitchen of the fortress of Eurasia and chew the honeyed biscuit he put on my plate. Damn, that's good. Really good. Maybe it's just that I haven't eaten in 3 days, since a not-so-mythological being stabbed me in the side with a poisoned blade that should have killed me. It would have killed me if it hadn't been for Brennan, who won't stop smiling as I chew. This might go down as the most surreal experience of my life. Brennan is alive. Venin, dark wielders I'd thought only existed in fables, are real. Brennan is alive. Eurasia still stands, even though it was scorched after the Tirish rebellion 6 years ago. Brennan is alive. I have a new 3-inch scar on my abdomen, but I didn't die. Brennan is alive. The biscuits are good, right? He asks, snagging one from the platter between us. Kind of remind me of the ones that cook used to make when we were stationed in Caldir, remember? I stare and chew. He's just so him. And yet he looks different from what I remember. His brownish-red curls are cropped close to his skull instead of waving over his forehead. And there's no lingering softness in the angles of his face, which now has tiny lines at the edges of his eyes. But that smile, those eyes, it's really him. And his one condition being me eating something before he takes me to my dragons? It's the most Brennan move ever. Not that Tairn ever waits for permission, which means, I, too, think you need to eat something. Tairn's low, arrogant voice fills my head. Yeah, I reply in kind, mentally reaching out for Endarna again, as one of the kitchen workers hurries by, offering a quick smile to Brennan. There's no response from Endarna, but I can feel the shimmering bond between us, though it's no longer golden like her scales. I can't quite get a mental picture, but my brain is still a little groggy. She's sleeping again, which isn't odd after she uses up all her energy to stop time, and after what happened in Ressen, she probably needs to sleep for the next week or so. You've barely said a word, you know, Brennan tilts his head just like he used to when he was trying to solve a problem. It's kind of creepy. Watching me eat is creepy, I counter after I swallow, my voice still a little hoarse. And? He shrugs shamelessly, a dimple flashing in his cheek when he grins. It's the only boyish thing left about him. A few days ago, I was pretty sure I'd never get to watch you do, well, anything again. He takes a huge bite. Guess his appetite is still the same, which is oddly comforting. You're welcome, by the way, for the mending. Consider it a 21st birthday present. Thank you. That's right. I slept right through my birthday, and I'm sure my lying in bed on the brink of death was more than enough drama for everyone in this castle. House. Whatever it's called. Xaden's cousin Bodhi strides into the kitchen dressed in uniform, his arm in a sling and his cloud of black curls freshly trimmed. Lieutenant Colonel Asarai, Bodhi says, handing a folded missive to Brennan. This just came in from Bezgaeth. The writer will be here until tonight if you want to reply. He offers me a smile, and I'm struck again at how closely he resembles a softer version of Xaden. With a nod to my brother, he turns and leaves. Bezgaeth? Another rider here? How many are there? Exactly how big is this revolution? Questions fire off in my head faster than I can find my tongue. Wait, you're a lieutenant colonel? And who is Asarai? I ask. Yeah, because that is the most important inquiry to make. I had to change my last name for obvious reasons. He glances at me and unfolds the missive, breaking a blue wax seal. And you'd be amazed at how fast you get promoted when everyone above you continues to die, he says, then reads the letter and curses, shoving it into his pocket. I have to go meet with the assembly now, but finish your biscuits and I'll meet you in the hall in half an hour and take you to your dragons. All traces of the dimple, of the laughing older brother, are gone, and in their place is a man I barely recognize. An officer I don't know. Brennan may as well be a stranger. Without waiting for me to respond, he scrapes his chair back and strides out of the kitchen. Sipping my milk, I stare at the empty space my brother left across from me, chair still pulled out from the table as though he might return at any moment. I swallow the remaining biscuits stuck in the back of my throat and lift my chin, determined not to ever sit and wait on my brother to return again. I push up from the table and head after him, out of the kitchen and down the long hall. He must have been in a hurry because I can't see him anywhere. The intricate carpet muffles my footsteps along the wide, high-arched hallway as I come to, whoa! The sweeping, polished double staircases with their detailed banisters rise 3, no, 4 more floors above me. I'd been too focused on my brother to pay attention earlier, but now I blatantly gawk at the architecture of the enormous space. Each landing is slightly offset from the one below, as though the staircase climbs toward the very mountain this fortress is carved into. The morning light streams in from dozens of small windows that provide the only decoration on the 5-story wall above the massive double doors of the fortress's entrance. They seem to form a pattern, but I'm too close to see the whole of it. There's no perspective, which pretty much feels like a metaphor for my entire life right now. 2 guards watch every step I take, but make no move to stop me when I pass by. At least that means I'm not a prisoner. I continue to stride through the main hall of the house, eventually picking up the sound of voices from a room across the way, where one of 2 large ornate doors is pitched open. As I approach, I immediately recognize Brennan's voice, and my chest tightens at the familiar timbre. That's not going to work, Brennan's deep voice echoes. Next suggestion? I make it through the massive foyer, ignoring what look to be 2 other wings off to the left and right. This place is astounding. Half palace, half home, but entirely a fortress. The thick stone walls are what saved it from its supposed demise 6 years ago. From what I've read, Ryerson House has never been breached by any army, even during the 3 sieges that I know of. Stone doesn't burn. That's what Xaden told me. The city, now reduced to a town, has been silently, covertly rebuilding for years right under General Melgren's nose. The relics, magical marks the children of the executed rebellion officers carry, somehow mask them from Melgren's signet when they're in groups of 3 or more. He can't see the outcome of any battle they're present for, so he's never been able to see them